Hello, hello, and welcome. This is the So You're an Author podcast where I interview indie authors and we yap about their books. I'm your host, Adair Reese, and today's guest is Lex Rose. Lex Rose is an author based out of Mechanicsville, Virginia. They are happily married to their husband and are a mom to two beautiful boys. To Bear an Oath is Lex's debut novel, and they are so excited to talk about it with us today. I want to thank Lex for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
So I know I just kind of introduced you a little bit to our listeners, Lex, but why don't you tell me a little bit more about yourself?
I'm 27 years old. I'm a Taurus. I enjoy long walks to my refrigerator. I started writing my book a little over a year ago. And like I said, I'm a mom. I got two little kids. I'm lucky that I got some time away. They're at summer camp with their dad because their dad works at a summer camp. And I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for wanting to be on and finding the time to, talk to me and everything, because kids be kids and during the summer, especially little ones. So you said so you mentioned just a second ago, literally, that you started writing your book about a year ago. Is that when you started writing in general, or were you kind of a writer before that? Like, did you also have a cringy fan fiction phase like
I was just
almost
about to say
everybody else that I've talked to?
before I started this process, I went on the internet and I scrubbed all of my fan fiction from the face of the earth.
No.
Because it was bad. It was like Jeff the Killer self-insert fan fiction. No one needed to do that.
Okay, no, I wanted to what? No. I wanted to see that. Why did you scrub it?
Okay, it's
Come
scrubbed for the
on.
public. I still have it.
Okay, good. As
It's
long as
all
you still have it,
privated.
because who doesn't want to find an author's cringy Jeff the Killer creepypasta fan fiction? Like, come on now.
No, it was on Quotive and it did pretty well. But no one needed to read that.
Okay, like I've admitted it before. I'll admit it again. Nobody will ever be able to find it. But I was a Twilight fan in the heyday of when Twilight released, because I'm 36. So like I was there when it was published and very popular, and I was of the age group at that time. I have Twilight fan fiction that still exists on fanfiction.net. Nobody will ever find it, but it's there.
Hell yeah.
Don't go looking for it. That was a long, long time ago, and there have been many pen names since then.
I am very stupid as a child in the sense that I just put my full government name on the internet.
Oh no. See, I got. No, go ahead.
I didn't really crack the protecting your, identity code until I was like probably in college.
Well, like, here's the whole thing that I've noticed, though, is like when the internet first came out, again, me being a little bit of an older millennial, when the internet first came out, everybody was like, we lied to everybody. Like when the whole like ASL was a thing, like you told people you would be 15, you would tell them that you were 19, that you were a girl, and that you lived in California, even though you lived in like Rhode Island. Like, you never really told anybody your actual information, and then we all just made up names based on, like, at least in my circles, based on, like, anime characters and stuff. Like, we had all of our own cringy, like, self-insert OCs that we went by on the internet.
Oh my god, I just remembered that I had one too. Oh, in like the creepypasta forums. Oh my god, that's a memory I suppressed.
Well, you're welcome for unsuppressing that memory. But so like we all like hid our identity. We were like, what do you mean? And then all of a sudden, like some of these younger generations, kind of like what you said, they just tell everybody everything. It's like seeing a kid in a grocery store and they're like, hi, my name is so and so, and I live here, and I do this, and my mom and daddy work at this place. And you're like, kid, quit telling me all of your personal information.
It's truly a miracle that I wasn't a Dateline episode. Like, it's
right.
It was bad. I got mad at my parents at the time for like policing my internet usage so much, but in hindsight, like they probably maybe should have been doing it more.
Yeah, honestly, my days of internet forums, I'm so thankful that I was like a nerd on my days in the internet forums, because I spent all my time on like Sailor Moon chat rooms and like Gaia Online and stuff like that, and got slightly lucky that there weren't too many obvious creeps, at least. But, like, yeah, my parents really should have watched my internet history a little
There's
bit
these,
more than they did.
yeah, creepypasta forums that I was on. I still talk to some of the people from the creepypasta forums. And then there was this website that is not around anymore. It was scenekids.com because I was like a little teeny weeny beanie kid. Um, scenekids.com was a forum I was on a lot, and that was just full of people catfishing as like MySpace models.
Oh, yeah, we all did that. When MySpace was at its heyday, we were all catfishing each other. Some guy tried to catfish me with the images of one of the band members of Avenged Sevenfold. I specifically remember that because I was like, "Wait, what?" Like,
The
dude, I
ones
can
like
go
that were
Google
always
you.
crazy. Ones like that were always bonkers to me in the sense that, like, do you think that those people thought that we thought they were like role playing, or do you think that they thought we believed them?
I think that they thought that we believed them. They're
That's
like,
the
"Yeah, I totally look like this," and you'd be like, "Oh, yeah, turn your webcam on." They'd be like, "It's broken."
It's always
My
broken.
webcam's broke. My webcam is broke, and, my microphone on my phone doesn't work, I'm sorry.
So I've never had that situation happen to me ever in all the time I've had technology, but I guess that's just true for you all the time.
Yeah, like, all the time, like, "What do you mean your camera's broken?" Like, "What?" Ugh, those were the days. So other than, Jeff the Killer slash or XOC, creepypasta fan fiction, was there anything else that you wrote before you started on, To Bear an Oath?
This was like my third or fourth attempt at writing a book, and my very unmedicated ADHD always got in the way. And then I just, one day my brain just went, you know what? Fuck it. The time's going to pass anyway. I'll work on it when I feel like, and eventually it'll be done.
I felt that in my soul. I have a whole list of books that I have not written because my unmedicated self is like, yeah, see, you're gonna write this 65K word first draft, so technically you have quote unquote finished a book, but now you need to go through and rewrite and edit it. But also, you're gonna have 17 other ideas at the same time, and they're all gonna stand in the corner and stare at you menacingly until you write them. So you're not gonna write anything because executive dysfunction.
Yes, I would just lock myself in a room. I would lock myself in a room and I would make my husband watch the kids so I'd feel guilty. So if I didn't get anything done, then I'd be guilty. Like I would feel bad. You
Honest
just gotta like make yourself Catholic about it and be
Make
guilty
yourself
about it all the
Catholic.
time.
Oh my god, I love that. I'm gonna use that. That is so great.
And just
That is
inserting guilt. That's the one thing they got right. I think I used to be Catholic, so I feel like I can say this. That's the one thing they got right is that guilt is a great motivator. If you make yourself guilty, that's really unhealthy. Don't actually do this. I'm joking. Disclaimer bar at the bottom of the screen.
yeah,
Um,
the disclaimer, please don't take any any advice from Oh, that's so great.
it got done though, and I only got to do it 2 more times.
Only 2 more times? You're only
Only
writing
two
3
more,
books?
at least to finish this trilogy. 2 more times.
Okay, see, I was about to say it's never just 2 more times. It's never just 1 more time. It's always, "Oh, yeah, I totally finished this book. I should write 45 more,"
But
and
this is
drive
the high of a
myself
lifetime.
crazy.
Seeing my book in other people's hands as I've gotten ARC readers has been like the high of my life.
See, that's what I'm hoping it'll be too when I get to that point. Because the book, the 65K thing that I was talking about was the first manuscript I ever finished. And then reading it back to, look at it again, I'm like, "Oh, I only did this about halfway. I still probably got another 60K to go." Because I was like, "I'll make it a duology." No. Uh, but anyway, when I was getting alpha readers, I was like, this is the scariest, but the coolest thing ever. Because what do you mean people wanna read what I wrote that's not, like, my fiance or, like, my friends that I've made in various places? Like, what do you mean strangers want to read my stuff?
Yes, that's been the scariest part about ARC readers. It's like, oh, people who don't care about my feelings are going to read this and tell me how they feel.
Just you put a disclaimer in the arc, "Please don't hurt my feelings, but also if you need to rate it below 4 stars, I understand, but you're also gonna make me cry. I just wanna let you know that."
I've tried. I only have one review, and I read it, but I tried really hard not to because I understand that that is a space for readers. That is not a space for me.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
it was a 5-star review, not to toot my own horn, but
Ooh, yay, congratulations, though. We love
Thank
a
you. I
five-star
like looking at
review.
my Goodreads profile for my book and be like, yep, that's a 5-star book right there. And I'm sure it's going to stay that way the whole time.
Just know if somebody does rate it lower, it does not mean you're a bad writer
That's a
or a
reflection of
bad
their
author.
opinion and their experience, not a
Exactly.
reflection on my skill. And not every book is for everybody.
Exactly.
I'm a recovered people pleaser, so I'm very good at this part, I think.
Oh yeah, same, same. I'm 100% I'm a recovering people pleaser. I still sometimes find myself falling into the people pleasing. And then I'm like, we don't do that around here anymore. Excuse you. We have grown since then. Can we not do that?
Just like spraying yourself with a water bottle like you're a cat, like
Right?
knock it off.
Literally. It's like, "Psst, what are you doing?"
I've
Uh,
also when people like send me their reactions as they're reading the book and it's the exact reaction I wanted them to have. Throw of a lifetime.
oh yeah. Like that. When I sent out my alpha reads for Mark of the Seraph, I did it in Google Docs so people could leave comments, and it was the highlight of my day to get comments, especially from one of my alpha readers who I absolutely adore. But she was like, I would just get a notification that would say so and so left a comment, and it would just be like as far as the notification would show me. And then I get one that would be like, I hate you. I can't believe you're doing this to me.
Yes.
Why are you doing this to me? How dare you? Oh my God, are you ruining my ship right now? What are you doing?
I got a message like that from one of my ARC readers last night. And I just replied, sorry, but not really.
Yeah, sorry, but not sorry. You
Sorry,
gotta
but
deal with
not
it.
real sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, but no, I'm not, because I'm
It's
gonna
for the
keep
greater
doing this
good. You'll
until
understand later.
it's for the greater good. Oh, I love that. So did you always want to be an author, or was it something that just kind of, like you said, you just decided, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna write a book and it's gonna be a trilogy and I'm gonna go for it?
It was always an ambition. It was always something in my head. I was like, I'd like to do that one day. It wasn't until so my youngest is 2 years old. He was born at 28 weeks. For the people
Oh.
at home who might not know, that's 28 out of 40 up to 42. So we're
Mhm.
real early there. He was 12 weeks early, spent 54 days in the NICU. And when you're in the NICU, it's kind of quiet and you can't really do nothing, especially when you're holding this very medically fragile baby who like has a feeding tube and a umbilical line and he's getting breathing support and all this fun stuff. So when you're holding this baby on your chest, because it is very good to hold NICU babies, it's very good for their brain. So when you're holding this baby, you can't really move. You just got to sit there and you're holding them for every time minimum an hour for it to be like good for them and to justify
Mhm.
like taking them out of their isolate. So I'm sitting there in my own head, hours at a time, just thinking about this story. And this is a story with characters that I have conceptualized when my son was in the NICU that takes place in a world that I would daydream about in 8th grade, like during like English class and shit. And
Hell
then
yeah.
and then he got home, he got stable, and I was like, actually, I think I would like to immortalize this a little bit. And
I love that.
I'll work on it when I can, and I won't when I can't, and then one day it'll be done. And now we're 1/3.
I love that though. I love that you took something that some people would think is like, I mean, obviously it's super hard. I have a son myself. I got lucky that he wasn't, a NICU baby or anything like that, but I've read and heard so many stories from people. Um, and some people like seem to kind of get depressed when their kids are, when their babies are in the NICU because there's not a
Oh
lot
yeah,
you can do. So like
it's very hard.
the fact that you were able to kind of turn that into, I'm here, I'm going to think about this and then turn around and make it into something tangible is just honestly kudos to you.
But yeah, it was
'Cause
very much a maladaptive daydreaming situation that I've decided to
yeah,
turn into whatever this is gonna be.
I mean, honestly, I think it's great. I really do. I think it's utterly fantastic, and, of course, I'm not saying you have to, but, of course, in the dedication, you have to be like, for all those hours in the NICU, here's what here's what
Well,
came from
I
it
don't know.
besides, a healthy baby.
Here's the thing, it's a pretty sad book one's pretty sad. So I tried to make it happy, so it is dedicated to my husband because my husband did spend many, many nights on the couch so that I could stay up late in the room with the lights on and write.
I love that. I love a supportive husband. Happy
I love
claps, happy
my husband
claps.
dearly.
I love that. Ugh, supportive spouses make me so happy. Like, that's
My
just one of my things. In a world where you constantly see, like, people complaining about their wives or their husbands or their significant others or whatever we're calling them, like, it makes me so happy to see the people who are like, "Yeah, no, I actually love my spouse. That's why I married them, and, like,
yes.
I'm obsessed with them and they're obsessed with me, so, like, I don't understand what y'all are even talking about. Like, why are y'all even married if you don't even like each other?"
Yeah, it's Catholicism probably a little bit.
Catholicism probably. I feel like I mean, religion probably does play a huge part in some of it, but I've come to realize that I think a lot of people think, "Okay, we've been dating for, like, 3 or 4 years, the next thing is marriage, and then there's kids, and even though I'm not 100% sure this is what society says I'm supposed to do, so," and then they end up in, like, complaining about each other on the internet, and then you get videos of
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm completely understanding what you're saying despite the lack of like explicit explanation.
Yeah, right.
Totally get what you're saying. No,
Listen,
my
I
husband is great. Like I think I said earlier, they're working at a summer camp this summer, so they are out of the house all week, with the exception of from noon to Saturday to noon on Sunday. They are home.
mhm.
They're an English teacher during the year, so there's no job in the summer. There's
Yeah.
still payment, but there's no job in the summer. So they are working at a summer camp for some extra income. It's a really great summer camp. But I hear from another friend of ours who's also working there, like, yeah, Caleb keeps talking about you. Their name's Caleb. Caleb keeps talking about you. Uh, and someone said something like, wow, you talk about your wife a lot. And then my husband goes, yeah, I'm not going to stop talking about winning. I won. I'm going to keep talking about how I won.
Oh my god, I love that. I love that. It's like, "Guys, I won everything. Do you really think I'm gonna, like, not talk about it?" Oh my god, I love that so much. I felt like I talked about my fiancé too much on this podcast, and then I realized, yeah, I do that because, like, he's
You won.
absolutely amazing, and he's part of the reason this podcast even exists.
Yeah,
I
why
mean,
would you stop talking
besides
about winning? You won.
right, right? Despite being my audio engineer, like, he's also the reason uh he's the reason I finished the manuscript. I am doing this podcast. I'm audiobook narrating. I'm planning on writing more books here and there, whenever I get to them. So, like, yeah, yeah, I feel your husband. I feel your husband hardcore, like, in my soul. It's a good dude.
Yeah, no, they're great. They're great.
I love it. Uh, oh, that was a motorcycle.
That was a motorcycle. Yeah, they do be ripping. I live right next to like the major highway.
No, you're fine. I just heard I was like,
I'll
"Oh."
hear them in the middle of the night and think someone's breaking into my house. It's
Oh my
great.
god, no. I'm so glad my apartment is, like, tucked back in a corner where it's not, like, I'm close to the highway, but not, like, on it like that.
Yeah, like you
Uh,
get used. Like my kids don't even really like acknowledge it at all because it's just been their whole life.
oh, yeah. Yeah, kids get used to noises like that pretty quick. They're, I was gonna say resilient, but I don't think that's the adaptable, easily adaptable.
Yeah.
Um, so we've mentioned the title of your book, but I'll go ahead and do it again. So the book that you are currently writing and getting ARC readers for, because it hasn't been published yet. It's publishing on August 8th, I believe
August 8th.
is yes.
Yes.
Is called To Bear an Oath. So can you tell our dear listeners a little bit more, like just an overall synopsis, maybe, some more about it, whatever you kind of want us to know?
Yeah, so To Bear an Oath follows Edith Riley, who has just taken an oath to defend her home nation of Tardid. This is essentially joining her nation's military. She becomes a sentinel and a private. Uh, Tardid has been at peace for 20 years. This is really like kind of low stakes, right?
Hmm.
But she's following in her dad's footsteps. She is shipped across the country and gets exposed to some new thoughts about how the world works, especially in regards to something called enchantment, which is like the military's highly regulated form of magic, because there is
Mm.
not a lot of magic in this world. The war that was happening 20 years ago between people who cannot do magic and people called casters who can do magic like innately. It's just something they can like pour out of their hands, if you will. And ever since the war ended, there are no more casters. They have been either killed or they have ran off across the mountain. It depends on who you ask what they think happened. Enchantment was created to kind of even the playing field. And now that there is no more war, some people have these thoughts of like, well, what is really the difference between an enchanter and a caster? What is really the difference between like what they do and what you do? Who is to say that you will not turn your backs on us eventually too? And this is not really a sentiment that existed in Edith's home sector, but in her transplanted sector, now that she has taken her oath and she has been sent where she is needed, she's exposed to that. And then she's also exposed to like, what would life be like if she was an enchanter and she pursued enchantment? And as she's pulling on these two strings and trying to figure out where she lands, there's some holes that pop up, and she kind of has to pick between what happens when you can pick between a comfortable truth, or like not a comfortable truth, I guess like a comfortable version of the truth, and what feels correct and what feels morally right.
I need it now. Put it in my hand so I
Okay,
can
I
read
will. I will send
it.
you the book once we are done, because if I try to do two things at once, I'm going to start saying the words I'm typing and typing the words I'm saying.
No, you're totally fine. I'm highly intrigued. Like I love stories like that. So like I'm just like, okay, so I need to get this. I need to read it. I need to follow the process and enjoy everything about it. So we talked about how you kind of maladaptive daydreamed this out in the NICU with your precious baby. But was there any like what was the kind of inspiration behind the like plot?
So I play a lot of D&D, believe it or not. And I had this character. He was God, I'm forgetting the word. Hold on, I'm gonna feel stupid for a second. I can
You're
maybe
not stupid. We just
say I
have
can maybe just
brain
pull up.
blips.
What the fuck is the word? 'Cause I'm remembering the word that I replaced it with because I wasn't sure if it was copywritten or not. So I call them sentinels, but that's not what they're called in D&D. Paladins. He was a paladin.
No, you can 100%
He
call
was
somebody a paladin.
See, I
That
wasn't
is not
sure
a
and I didn't want to risk
copyright
it, which is
word.
why I called them sentinels.
I mean, honestly, I kind of like
Um,
Sentinel too.
yeah, it's like I'm not sure. I don't want to risk it. So they're gonna be called sentinels. I called them something different initially, and then one of my beta readers was like, "Hey, like this is really close to the name of a white supremacist group," and I went, "Oop, change that real quick."
You're like, no, this is why we get beta readers. This is why we get beta
Didn't know
readers.
that. So they're called sentinels. So he was a paladin, and his story. I can talk about it because it's kind of very much deviated at this point. So I was like, here's where I'm going to start, and then we'll figure out where this goes from here. His story was about what happens when you make an oath to a paladin order, and then you think you have broken your oath and you are ousted. And then he returned home after being like ousted and banished to find he is actually the only one who kept his oath and everybody else broke their oath. In like banishing him. So that's where it started. It is nowhere near there anymore, I don't think. Well, there's like 10% of that still here, but I was like, here's where I'm starting, and then we're just gonna fly by the seat of our pants and see where I end up.
That leads me into the next question of, are you a plotter or a pantser?
I started as a pantser, and then I realized I should probably maybe have an idea of what's going on in like the background of all this, and I will so like halfway through the second draft I was like, I should probably maybe start writing stuff down of like what's actually happening and what things mean, where things come from.
Yeah, I have that bad. First drafts for me are literally just lore dumps. It's like I'm getting all the lore out. You can tell when you like if you if you ever read like a first chapter of a first draft that I did, it is literally just entirely world building for me, and then I go back and fix it. So it's not so just like, here's everything you need to know about this fictional city and thing that I made up and everything else. And yeah, I'm still a pantser though.
Yeah, because I had this realization of like, oh, like I need to know stuff that like you guys aren't gonna know yet because I need to know
Mm-hmm.
how to write around it and what that means for the world. So like a war that happened like I want to say I made it like at least I don't remember how many years ago. I want to say a couple hundred years ago in my world, a war that happened. Like I needed to know how that started to write around it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just pulled out my favorite piece of history and I jumbled it up and put it in my world. It's based off of the Pig War. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Pig
I
War,
have
but it's
not. Please educate me because I am highly curious now.
so I'm gonna be so stupid about explaining this, and someone is probably gonna know so much more about it than me. And you can look it up on YouTube, and there's this wonderful stick figure video that will explain it to you. It is my comfort video.
There's a stick figure video.
Yes, I'm. Oh, hold
Oh,
on.
that's funny.
I'm gonna get you the name of the guy. Hold on.
Oh yeah, please. Hold on. Let me take my notes on this because like.
War. Oversimplified. The Pig War video by Oversimplified. I love the Pig War. I think it's so funny. So what happened with the Pig War is it's ye old time. So there's no instant messaging. Everything's going by boat, by person, by horse or whatever. And there's this consistently escalating conflict over like a pig like crossing a border that someone has decided as a border, to the point where like a very early world war almost breaks out because messages can't get there fast enough and this pig keeps eating shit. And then they kill the pig and then they're like, that's an act of war. They're like, no, it's not, it's a pig. And it's funny. But then
That's
I made it very serious in my book.
oh, that is so great. Yeah, I'm definitely watching that after we get off here because I'll talk to you, take a break, get back to recording some stuff for Human Voices Only tomorrow, so I can get all that stuff edited today and get posted. By the way, to anybody who follows my mains on social medias, I both apologize and don't apologize for how much you're about to hear my narrating voice over the next 24 hours starting tomorrow morning. You should have to deal with it.
Don't apologize. They signed up to follow you. Following you is voluntary. Don't be sorry.
I know, but I'm 100% just like, y'all are gonna be so sick of me because the algorithms are all gonna hate me. TikTok and Instagram and Threads are all gonna put me in jail, and I'm totally fine with that.
Oh, TikTok
It'll
hates
be
me.
great.
I will post every day for like 2 weeks. And then my brain goes, well, we forgot that TikTok's real. And then I won't post for like a month.
Oh my god, I have a like this for some reason. The podcast TikTok is up to 500 followers, even though like I don't really post on it much. Like I'll post updates of when we hit like milestones or whatever. And those get thousands of views, but like my narrator stuff, I get like 10 or 12 or I don't even break 100 and I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" TikTok doesn't
Ever
like people.
since ever since I put a pre-order link in my bio and I've told people to start clicking it, TikTok's like, we don't like you. Stop taking people away from our website.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're really I'm like, "Well, I'm not gonna do a pre-order through TikTok Shop. That's weird."
And also, once you
But
sign up for TikTok Shop, you can only use royalty-free music.
yeah. Yeah, because they consider you a business, and then you can't use all, like, the trending stuff and all of that, yeah.
Like that's
It's
how I get people to see my shit. You gotta,
right?
there's gotta be a middle here somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta have a middle ground where, like, I can use, like, the trending sounds and still, like, not be considered, like, a quote, unquote, like, "business." They're so
I
annoying.
also caved and I paid $5 for a TikTok promotion because I was like, sure, let's see what happens. It's not worth it. No one ever paid for TikTok promotion. It's bullshit. It didn't work. They just took my money.
Yep, yep. I think if I were to pay for any kind of, like, ad thing, I would probably pick as much as I hate the metaverse but I'm so deeply ingrained in Threads, that's where, like, all of my people have come from, basically. Like, uh, uh, I would do, like, ads on Instagram or something, or if I had a Facebook, I would do Facebook. Honestly, I probably need to get a Facebook for my author stuff
I was just thinking
eventually
about how I need to
because
get a Facebook because I don't have one.
Yeah, I've heard that the some of the, like, author spaces on Facebook are pretty good. There are some ARC reader groups that are really good. For, like, my narration side of things, there's some stuff there, but I'm like, I just don't want a Facebook again, you know? Like, I don't wanna deal with Facebook anymore.
So my brother just sent me 14 text messages, and I thought I had my phone on Do Not Disturb, and now it's
So you're totally fine because I was my ADHD brain was like ding 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 ding. Like I'm over here like dancing to your notification sounds. It's fine. I'm so glad that my fiance and my kid can't see me in here acting like a straight up feral gremlin.
this
Uh
is fine.
they're used to it. They're it's fine. It's fine. Um so what was something that you liked about the process of writing and to bear an oath?
I liked when I would write something real good and I would go, damn, that's good. There were a couple of times when writing this book where like I am writing it, and as I'm writing it or as I'm reading it back, I am crying. And it feels a little narcissistic, but maybe just because like I have really low self-esteem, so it feels narcissistic to be proud of myself for anything. Um of like, oh,
Girl,
like
same.
this is something I wrote that I would love to read, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
my oh yeah, no. I'm 100% the same way. Uh again, I'll bring him up because he's so ingrained in my life, but my fiance is doing a podcast very different from this one, but it's called Midnight Archive where people submit parts of their stories to be read on the podcast. Like snippets and stuff and he narrates it all himself. I'll probably help narrate a few things here and there. But he was reading some of the stuff that I wrote. Like he read like part of the alpha version of Mark of the Seraph and then I have a still slightly untitled sci-fi horror and he read part of that. Like I'm listening to him narrate and I'm like, dude, I wrote that. I'm like, what do you mean I wrote that? That's really good. How did I write that? So I get what you're saying. I have made myself cry over my own characters a million times because I'm like, I'm so sorry I'm torturing you, but it's part of the process.
So it's also it was really cathartic for me to write because it helped me reprocess a lot of like shitty things that have happened to me.
Yeah.
Um of like, oh, like here is still what happened, and it's still exactly what happened. And then here
Mm-hmm.
is like a world where I dealt with it better, or I got the help I needed, you know?
Oh
Which is
yeah.
not to say it's
Yeah.
a big trauma dump because it's not. That is it's a very small part of the story, but it is also like the inciting action. I know I can always tell when my arc readers get to like the inciting action because it's something along the lines of like my name in all caps, a pissed off emoji, a sad emoji, whatever feeling they're feeling, and then
Oh
just like,
yeah.
how could you? Why would you do this?
How could
I'm
you
gonna
do
kill
this
him.
to me? I'm gonna kill them all. Uh like my sweet baby cinnamon roll. What did you do to them? Uh um I have a quartet of books that I'm writing that is kind of the opposite of that. It's not so much a here's a world where this thing happened and then I was able to heal from it through these characters. Mine is what would happen if I had never healed from from what I went through and I just decided to be just angry all the time. And I have a whole quartet of books based off of that. In terms of like my FMC is entirely irredeemable. She's very vindicated in what she does. Like her reasoning behind it makes total sense, but she goes about it in terms of I'm going to wipe all of you from the face of the universe and you will never exist again. And in doing so, I'm going to become a just straight up villain and nobody is going to stop me. Uh,
Listen, I support
so
women's rights and women's wrongs. It's all good.
right, same, especially hers because her wrongs are like I said, they're justified. She just
If they're justified,
decides
it's
that,
not a wrong.
you know, I mean, I don't know if we consider it might be. I'm not gonna give away too many spoilers for that. That's like my magnum opus series that I'm gonna write one of these days when I finish all these other ideas that I have. Um, it's funny that I'm trying to write it though, because like I've healed a lot since I came up with that idea. So I'm just like, do I even have the that inner feminine rage still stuck inside me? And I'm like, yeah, no, it's definitely somewhere because I would still completely tear apart a rage room in a heartbeat.
It's like, oh yeah, it comes back. There is a scene in my book, and when people read it, they'll know there is a not hefty trigger warnings list, but there's like a couple important trigger warnings in my book that people should have to look at before they read it. And like, I was like, I am pretty healed from this, but I am going to write a version of this again, and I'm sure I'll be fine. And every time I wrote it, read it, edited it, I had to like take a 2-day break because I was like, I am so angry and triggered, and those feelings are still there, even though I do not have that button pressed every day anymore.
Yeah, it's like a narrator voice. She was not fine. Yeah.
I wanted to write, like, one of the things I went into this one is like, I wanted to write a victim that is not perfect.
Yeah.
I do not want her to always make the right choice or to see the warning signs in time or any of that, because that's like that's just how people are, especially like neurodivergent people who are like socialized female. Like, you are programmed to be such a people pleaser and to not say anything to make other people feel bad or make them uncomfortable. And it makes you miss stuff, and it makes you not get out in time and all that fun stuff. And then it makes you continue to make stupid choices even after you know things are bad. And I wanted to write somebody like that, because I've read a lot of books where like somebody gets very hurt and very traumatized, and like instantly there's like this wisdom and strength that comes with it. I've already decided on the dedication for my second book. I thought of it in the shower, and I think it goes with this thought pattern of like, it is going to be dedicated to the people who did not learn how to survive with grace but to stumble through. May our broken and bruised limbs be evidence that we lived.
Oh my god, I love that. I need that tattooed on my body. I love that so much. Ugh.
Because that's what Edith does. Like, this a horrible thing happens to her, and she is lucky in the sense that somebody intervenes and helps her. But for a lot of it in her internal monologue, and it's part of the reason why I wrote it in like first person present, which I know is controversial, but I wanted to be there in the moment with her internal monologue before it is like tainted by any sort of reflection.
Yeah.
So like we see her like ruminating thoughts and her intrusive thoughts and like how she's feeling in that exact moment without any kind of retrospective attached to it.
Yeah, no, I don't understand why some people think first person present tense is like controversial. Like, you're writing your story how you want your story to be told, and that's all that matters. I could go off on tangents on how I think some writing rules are meant to be stretched and others are meant to be bent, and then others are meant to just be broken. I say write whatever tense makes sense for the story you're trying to tell, and people can build a bridge and get over it, or they can sit on one side of the river and cry and whine and complain and bitch and do what they do best, I guess.
I think I don't think in this is probably a very autistic take of me, because I am autistic, of like I write how I think, and this is how I think. That also means that any character I write in this perspective, I do think is inherently autistic. I've had a couple arc readers say like, I can tell that you have autism because this character clearly has autism. I think it's cool that you wrote that. And I'm like, that was not on purpose. I think that's just
like, yeah, cool that I wrote that. Yeah.
Cool that I intentionally made this character as autistic as I am. That was totally a choice that I made.
Yeah, I totally did that on purpose. It totally wasn't just because, whatever. Yeah, anyway.
If I am accidentally giving that to people, then I'm glad that they have it. Because I loved in Fourth Wing that Violet has EDS, because I also have EDS. And it's very casual. It's not super clinical, because like there's no word for that in the world that they live in, or a way to really diagnose that in the world that they live in. So it's just, here's how it is. There is no word or diagnostic criteria for autism in the world of Tardid. So she just is how she is, and that's what it looks like.
Yep. So talking about Fourth Wing for just half a second, because I know that representation in books is something that a lot of us look for. I did not finish Fourth Wing. I DNF'd it because I have a personal beef with this guy's supposed to be my enemy, but God, he's so hot. I have a personal beef with that tropage.
There's a
Um,
little bit of that tropage in my book, but I don't like. I like to think it's not too bad because it's not. It's not that she just like hates him for no reason. He is like a dick to her for a good long while.
yeah, no, and I'm fine with stuff like that. Like, I'm like, it's not a romantasy, and I will fight anybody who tells me that the Cruel Prince Folk of the Air series is a romantasy. They are not romantasies. They are fey political intrigue with a romance subplot. I actually like the like rival bully romance that Jude and Carden have,
Mhm.
but I'm not, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of I'm not supposed to like, or I'm not a huge fan of the almost instant thing that Violet kind of did of like, I'm not supposed to like him, but he's hot as hell. Like, give me some space to work up to like, I'm an enemies to lovers girly, but I like enemies to reluctant allies to, oh shit, we're having this vulnerable moment and we're kind of friends, to lovers and the slowest burn you could possibly give me over like 4 books. Um,
My couple does not get together until like the fourth to last chapter of this book.
Hell yeah. I'm down for that too. Like I like that's how I like my stuff like that. So I what I was getting at is because I know that Violet has EDS, but like how well is it represented in the books? Like is it something that is just kind of touched on like once or twice, or is it something that kind of pops up more? Like I said, I didn't get very far in
It,
it to even kind of
it,
know.
it pops up when it is appropriate for it to pop up, and that is like, I think for a non-disabled person, people complain that it's like too often, it's too much of a crutch. And like, yeah, well, it's a disability. It
Yeah.
impacts every part of her life and how she does things. So it's gonna come up a lot because it's disabling.
Mhm.
That's my biggest counter qualm with like the fandom of like Violet relies on her disability too much or it's brought up too much. And I'm like, I could stand to hear about it more, but I understand that it would be boring, to just
Yeah.
keep hearing about it. Like I get it, but I think you hear about it the correct amount because it is disabling, and that's what disabilities do, is they get in the way of your life. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a disability because it wouldn't be disabling.
Right. Duh. Yeah, yeah. I love when people are like, "Oh, just do this," and I'm like, "I can't. I want to, trust me, but I can't."
I have people that are convinced that if I just like worked out more, that my connective tissue would strengthen. And I'm like, that's
What?
not it's a
That's not even
it's
how
not built right. It can't get strong right if it's not built right.
that all I can think of is that old meme, "That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works."
It's not. It's like I can't. You can build the strongest, fanciest house in the world, and if you put it on a shit foundation, it's still gonna fall apart and have issues.
Right? You're like, "Guys, my foundation is what sucks. My meat suit is, not up to par, guys. I have no control over that. It's not my fault."
And
Uh,
I think it is good representation because I realized that that was what it was before I ever Googled if that's what was happening.
oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, good, good, good. Again, some of the more, mainstream book talk, bookstagram things are just haven't entirely been my cup of tea in the last couple of years.
That is
Um,
fair. Do you like reading sci-fi or just writing it?
I love reading sci-fi.
Have you read Axiom's End?
I have not, but now
You
I'm
have
going to. Let me add that to my list. Hold on. Let
it's the
me
new Mena series. Right now it's a trilogy. I think there's another one coming by Lindsay Ellis.
I
Also,
know Lindsay Ellis.
yes, her books are very good. It's a sci-fi like speculative history of like what would have happened if we made first contact with aliens during the Bush administration.
During the Bush administration?
I think that's what
Oh
it
my
is.
god. What was it called again? I'm sorry, my
The
brain
first book
cried
is
out.
called Axiom's End.
Okay, we're adding that to the list. Do you wanna know the funny story about how I know Lindsay Ellis?
Yes,
I've
absolutely.
never talked about this before. Let me make sure that I'm gonna double check my history real quick before I completely say this. So I make sure that I'm talking about the right person here. Give me 1 second. So I was introduced to Lindsay Ellis in September of 2020. When her video popped up on my YouTube algorithm, titled "Into the Omegaverse." how a fanfic trope landed up in court. That is how I know Lindsay Ellis. She is the Omegaverse lawyer chick that I follow.
Yes. Everything I've learned about the Omegaverse, I've learned against my will.
Right.
It's like on my TikTok, and then I'm like, oh, that's interesting, I guess. Then I kept learning more, and the next thing you know, I'm reading The Fake Mate. And I'm like, how did I get here?
Like, I was, again, because I'm old as dirt, I was there when the Omegaverse was born. Well, the modern Omegaverse. But we don't talk about where it comes from or anything like that. But yes, everything I learned about that was against my will and because I was in fandom spaces where it was prevalent. So I know way too much about all of it. And it is just one of those fun little things where somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I was reading this book about alphas and omegas," and I'm like, "Oh, would you like to know more about the actual dynamics of it, or what? Are you waiter?" But then you have to ask, are they reading like hetero Omegaverse, or are they reading gay Omegaverse? Because they're very different. If you didn't know that.
Yes, I had friends that read Bride and were like, oh my god, and I was like, you guys aren't ready for MPreg. Okay, understood. I'm gonna keep you on my list.
They're you're just like you sweet summer child. If you thought
Like, what do you
Bride
mean?
was
There's a thing at the end of it and it gets big, and I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna take you off the list of. I'm gonna take some
right.
books off the list I recommend to you.
Yeah, but like, all right, we're gonna move this one and we're gonna move this one, and don't even get me started on Sapphic Omegaverse and how that works, because that is also very interesting as well. But yeah,
I love the variance in interpretation from author to author is also fun.
oh yeah, it definitely is.
Oh man, now the whole internet's gonna know I'm a freak. Like they didn't know already.
Dear
no
listeners,
one look at my AO3. You're not allowed.
Dear listeners, this is why you love this podcast and you love my guests that come on here, because we all find out that we've all come from generally the same primordial pool of degenerate almost.
It turns out my dirty little secrets are also all of your dirty little secrets. So why are they secrets? Can we just talk about it?
You know, yeah, like we all started, a lot of us, I shouldn't say all of us, but a lot of my guests started off in fandom spaces. We are all some level of neurodivergent in some way, shape, or form. I have a lot of I've interviewed a lot of queer authors, and everything else, and we're all from the same just little primordial pool of, hey, we're gonna be authors, and this is what we are, and you just all have to deal with it now. Sorry, not sorry. That's where we all just have kind of come from. We all spawned out of the same little area of space, basically.
I can always tell when an author like has not checked even one of those boxes, because I'm like, well, this is really boring. Like, honestly, you did a good job, and I'm proud of you for trying, but also this isn't for me. This is like popular girl humor. Like, I can't do this.
I can tell when an author never had a fan fiction phase.
I can tell when an author's never been bullied.
Yeah, yeah. But you can tell when they haven't had a fan fiction phase, because you're like, wait a minute, am I basically reading fan fiction, just not fan fiction? And again, that's a whole other kit and caboodle that I could open and dive deep into, about how fan fiction is now being turned into traditional publishing, and so we're seeing more fan fiction-esque tropes coming out that you normally wouldn't see in mainstream books, especially since what was that one that got, not 50 Shades of Grey, what was that other one, the Harry Potter one that got published that everybody like freaked
there's
out?
a couple. Alchemized is the big one.
Alchemized is the big one.
The irresistible urge to fall in love with your enemy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Dramoni ones that got done. There's a couple of Drarry ones that got done. I know that they're doing somebody got as trad pubbing a Marauders era one, but there was another one, maybe it wasn't Harry Potter, it was something else. Something was a fan fiction and then got trad pubbed and got super popular. I know the Love Hypothesis was Raylo fanfic.
I did know that
before it got picked up. Yeah, you can tell that just from looking at the cover of it that it was Raylo fanfic.
Can I have a hot take that's probably more lukewarm?
Yeah.
I really hate cartoon covers.
Oh my god, me too.
I don't get it.
Like,
I don't get it.
there's a difference between, like, the romance cartoon covers and, like, the covers where the characters are in more of, like, an anime kind of style. I would take something that looks like a manga over the westernized cartoon covers that you see on romance novels
See,
100% any day.
I have seen so many like kids who should not have Icebreaker with Icebreaker in their hands because it's a
Oh my god, no.
cartoon cover.
Yeah. No.
It's crazy. I can't do it.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't have books like that.
Mm-mm.
There are many things that I could speculate on why cartoon covers have gotten popular, but I think it's just publishers pushing that for some reason. I'm not gonna pretend I know the ins and outs of the publishing world because I don't.
I think it's because we infantilize women's interests because they're women.
I'm glad you said it because I wasn't gonna say it, but you said it, so now we can talk about it. Um, and it's really interesting that it's only it's only romance that gets that kind of treatment. Like, I don't think I can't name, like, a fantasy novel where I've seen the cartoony covers like that. At least not off the top of my head. I'm sure they exist. I just haven't personally seen them. Um, and it's like, "Oh, romance is only for women, so we're gonna make these what we think women like, and they're cute and adorable and and I'm like, "I don't like that.
So
I don't."
you like very simple, very girly things, right? Girly pop? And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. You're like, "Hey, girly
you
pop, look
can't
at this.
handle a complicated storyline. Here's two tropes in a bag.
Here's 2 here's 2 tropes in a bag, we shook them up, but they're both fighting for 3rd place, and there's a secret trope in here that we're not sure what to call it yet, but it's also very boring."
Which is not to
Romance
say I don't
listeners,
love
romance.
very simple romance novels. I do. They're my bread and butter at the end of the day.
Oh,
When
yeah.
I'm in a reading slump, that is what I grab is the corny little romance novels. They're great and I love them.
Listen, dime store novels are amazing. Also, to all of my potential romance listeners, we are not making fun of y'all, I promise.
No, we're
We're not
making
making
fun of
fun
the
of
people
y'all.
who think that you're stupid.
We're yeah, we're talking about the publishing industry as a whole and how it thinks that women are, like she said, stupid and dumb for liking romance novels when we're actually not. We're far more I was going to say emotionally educated, emotionally mature than like the men who only read men's power fantasies, which also you could totally talk about the fact that most fantasy books are just men's power fantasies. And how come they get a pass about being a dude who is all powerful and all strong and all knowing and everything, and they get all the women, but you make a woman like that and it's wrong.
I saw a
Why do men get
that was
why
like
chooses? Why do men get harems but women don't?
I
Like, why is it bad that, let us, like, why choose? Let us do it. It's
I
fine.
saw a TikTok recently and it was like I can always tell that she's gonna be the chosen one because of like X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, you're not gonna read a book about the not chosen one, sorry. Like, duh, she's
I
always the chosen one.
I did have an idea to
It's a
tell
book
a
about her.
story. I did have an idea to tell a story about or to tell the story of, like, the chosen one through a side character's point of view, or through, like, a random, like, NPC basically,
Mm-hmm.
of being like, "Oh yeah, I went to check the crops today, and then it turns out that the chosen one was in town and blah blah blah." And, like, so you're just seeing, like, the repercussions of, like, what's going on in the world as they're, like, on their hero's journey basically. I feel like people would eat that up
There's a
just a
book
little
I'm
bit
reading right
maybe.
now who does kind of that through like a Greek chorus style. It's the spear cuts through water. And every once in a while you just kind of zoom into the head of like a very background character and their thoughts about what's happening in front of them at the moment and then zoom back out and it's very fun.
I love that. Hello, Lucifer.
Is that a cat?
Yeah, that's Lucifer. That's my co-host.
I miss having my cat. I
Come here,
miss
Boo Blue. Come here. What do you want?
and back to publishing and men having stupid opinions about romance. It's always the most illiterate motherfucker having an opinion.
Right?
And I'm like, I don't think you know how to read. I think that you think that this is stupid and silly because you look at it and you don't understand it, and it makes you feel small. So you make fun of it to feel big again, like a freaking elementary school bully.
It's been a hot minute, but there was a post that went around a little while ago that was like a guy had walked into a Barnes and Noble and he took a picture of it, and he's like, "This is the state of fantasy now." And of course, it was a bunch of like, he took a picture of like the romantasy table or whatever at like a Barnes and Noble. He's like, "This is the state of bookstores now. It's all nothing but a bunch of fairy smut now." And we're like, everybody was just like, "Yeah, dude, because that's who's buying books. You literally said you haven't stepped foot in a bookstore in 5 years. What do you expect? Do you expect it all to be, just anyway?"
Listen,
Like,
if you
do you expect it all to be James Patterson and Stephen King? Like, what are you expecting here?
it's like you could
Like,
also read the most gorgeous description of a penis you've ever read if you could read.
if you
If
could
you
read.
you could be on this boat too and learn about the beautiful intricacies of veiny penises if you knew how to read.
Right, right. You might learn a thing or two.
I
But anyway.
My husband reads my books, and let me tell you, it's been an improvement ever since my husband
Yeah.
started reading my books. Listen,
Men can listen, men can learn. They can learn if they want to. And it doesn't have to be performative. Nothing upsets me more than a performative man.
yes,
Like the
I
men on like Book Talk, some of them, not all of them, but you know which ones I'm talking about. The ones that are like shirtless, thirst trapped. Oh, I'm reading ACOTAR. Those kind of men. And then the matcha latte, I'm reading a book in a Starbucks or blah blah blah. And performative men drive me insane.
and it's like they can always tell you about the fucking Nessian under the table blowjob, but they can't tell you about the intricacies of Nesta dealing with her trauma, and that's how you know
Right?
it's not real.
Yep. Yep. I didn't even read ACOTAR, but I totally get what you're getting at. I tried with Sarah J. Maas. She is another one of my authors that I'm like, if I could, I would, but I can't. I will admit, Throne of Glass got me out of a year's reading slump. Because it was quick, it was easy, and then it got me back into reading again. However, I could not finish the series because I was like, this just isn't for me.
I think about the last book in that series every day. There is not a
You're like, that is my Roman Empire.
no, really. Like I can always tell I'm about to get my period because I'll just start crying about the 13 and the girlies who know.
Yeah, I
I'll
am
just post
sadly
on the
not one of
tears.
the girlies who knows, but I feel I have other things that are like that. Like my Roman Empire of books is currently The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow. If you haven't read it, please
It's on
do.
my list. I'm looking at it on
It's
my
getting
bookshelf right now.
it's getting a Netflix adaptation. I'm scared Netflix is going to ruin it
I
if they
hate
don't
when
do the
Netflix does
casting right.
anything. Netflix doesn't do
Like
anything right. Even their documentaries have been shit recently because they just can't do it
like
right.
I'm so they also Lucifer just like tried to rip my headphones off my freaking head.
Like you're done
Um
talking, actually.
yeah, basically he's like, "Yeah, you're done. I got my pets. Now
Lucifer
I'm gonna go
Lucifer
scream."
loves Netflix and hates that I'm slandering them.
Yeah, 100%. No, but Netflix has the rights to BioShock 2, or BioShock, like the franchise, and that is my all-time
Mhm.
favorite franchise of all time. Like I love BioShock. It is my everything. I will one day have BioShock tattoos when I can afford to get them. But
Nice.
uh they haven't done anything with it yet. And so I'm like, so you guys are telling me that you picked this up, you teased it like 2 years, like a year ago, 2 years ago. You still haven't done anything with it. What are you going to do to the Everlasting? Because that book is my Roman Empire. I think about that daily. I think about rereading it all of the time. And it made me cry. It made me go, it made me gasp. It gave me all the emotions. Uh and the girlies who know, and I can't wait for you to be one of the girlies who know. In fact, when you read it, I demand that I get a DM somewhere that is just like, I can't stand you right now because I moved this up my TBR and now I'm heartbroken.
I have to think, I like want to be friends after this. You seem cool.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. 100%, please.
If you
I love
want
it.
a similar level of emotional devastation that Kingdom of Ash gave me, you gotta read The Song of Achilles. That's the one book that fucked me up
That has
so much.
been on my TBR for years and I have just not picked it up
Oh,
yet.
it's so good. I read it once on my own and then I reread it for a book club and it got me good both times. Oh, it's so good. It's written very I don't like poshly. Like if you've read
Yeah.
like the Odyssey or the Iliad or anything like that, it'll be
Mm.
easy. Just in like the writing style, but oh, it's so good.
Yeah, no, it has been forever on my TBR. I will eventually move it around. I have a few arcs I need to actually read and review finally cuz I'm an awful reader like that. And I need to get to those for my buddies so I can get them done and review them for them. But anyway, uh, yeah, yeah. I
I
really
love
hope Netflix
books.
doesn't mess that up.
I hope for you too. I'm gonna add that to my manifestation jar.
Yeah, you should. Oh my God, are you a witchy girl too?
Yeah, I'm sitting next to my got my candles going.
Oh my God. Okay, we're new
I'm
besties now.
Hellenic. Hellenic.
Me too. Girly pop, yes. Yes. Ugh, it's so great. So one thing I wanted to talk about because I'm always interested, and it's not something that I have any. That's not how I want to phrase that. You said that some things that we could talk about on your form, other than the neurodivergence, which we've obviously, kind of touched on. So I'm gonna ask because you put it on there. So what kind of OCD do you have?
I have like I'm forgetting the fancy word for it. So like I as a baseline think that I am a horrible person who is the scourge of the earth, right?
Oh, that's OCD.
Than like the and that is how I yes, and that is how I start my day every day. So I have to climb and claw to even break even on like my morality OCD. To even like break even on being a good person. And have you played Stardew Valley?
I cannot get into Stardew Valley.
Okay, so so in Stardew Valley you have to go fishing, and fishing's a chore.
Mm-hmm.
Because the progress you make is so slow, and when you fuck up, it depletes so quickly. And that
Mm-hmm.
is kind of what my living in my brain is like, is I do all of this work to break even, not even to like think about that I've been a good person today, just to break even. I have to do all this work, and then any perceived mistake is like extremely detrimental to that progress every day.
Mm-hmm.
I also have like mild contamination OCD, but it's mostly the morality OCD. And I sit in my brain and I ruminate about like, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Could I have done that differently? What would the outcome have been? I'm a horrible, awful person for doing X, Y, and Z. Everybody hates me. I am innately unlovable. All that fun stuff. And that is also something that Edith struggles with in my book.
Wait, is that seriously an OCD thing?
That is an OCD. That is a form of OCD. Yes.
Oh God.
Because the obsession is your morality, and the compulsion is like one, sitting on it, and then two, trying to like overcorrect.
Oh, I need to get my insurance back. That explains so much about my. Okay, anyway, we're not self-diagnosing on the internet today. We'll save that for another day. Oh my God, no. Okay, anyway.
It was a big weight off my shoulders when I found out that that was OCD, and not just that I like actually was this awful person that I thought I was. I was like, oh no,
Yeah,
that's not a real thing. That is that I've convinced myself for a long time that this is really how things are. But that is not really how things are. My brain is sick, and it is making me think a sick thing.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Like, the people in my life love me and they want to be around me. They are all grown-ups, and if they did not want me around or they thought I was bad, they would not be around. I have not tricked anybody. I am not secretly awful. I'm not like to manipulate or gaslight or be awful like that requires intention that I am simply not doing. I've just convinced myself I'm doing these things
Oh
because my
no.
brain is sick.
Oh no. Oh no. I feel like you just ran through literally my internal monologue like every other day. It's like, why,
It's like, you
are
are
you
not a bad person. Your brain is just sick.
I need to make that my mantra in life.
Say what has helped me a lot, and it's gonna sound counterintuitive, is that like I separate myself from my brain, because me and my brain are not on the same team. So why would I talk about ourselves like we are?
You know, my one of that's honest. Yeah, that's very true. My thing is like, why am I talking to myself like this when I would not talk to my best friend like this?
Mm-hmm. And at the end
Or
of the
my
day, you got to be your own best friend because you're all you got.
right. My fiance is like, why are you being mean to my wife? And I'm like, I am your, or we call him my husband, and anyway, blah 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 blah. I'm like, I am your wife. He's like, no, you're being mean to her right now. You need to stop that. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I've started like being like I don't want my kids to learn that this is how you talk to yourself. Like I don't want my kids to learn that there's like an absolute, and if you fuck up, like you cannot be forgiven or forgive yourself. Like I want my kids to know that like they can be kind to themselves and that they can forgive themselves.
Oh, I love that. And it's very true. Kids pick up on that, and they pick up on it very early on in life. So I'm super glad that you've got that, or that you're doing that. Wait, does that make sense? I don't
Yeah, and
know.
also like you don't need anybody's permission to forgive yourself. That's totally a you thing. That's nobody else's
All right.
business.
So where do I send my invoice for this therapy session that this turned into, so I can make sure that you get paid in maybe pretty character art or something, because I'm a broke artist right now, and
I'm glad I could help you maybe realize that, because that's the whole point of like putting that representation in out there, you know?
yeah,
Of
yeah,
like,
and
oh, like there's nothing wrong with you. You're just sick and it's okay to be sick. There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
Your
yeah.
brain is sick the same way that your stomach is sick. Your brain is injured the same way that like a limb is injured, and there's stuff you can do to help and feel better.
That's very true. That's very, very true. I'm not getting emotional. You are. Leave me alone. um, yeah, that. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna learn something new today. I wasn't expecting to learn that kind of new thing today.
I'm sorry.
Jeez, Lex. No, I'm joking. It's fine. I'm the one who asked. I'm the one who asked. So that is my fault. um, we have been on a roll with the Yap Yaps. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about in terms of anything that we've talked about today? More on To Bear an Oath, more about representation in books, more about how oh, I wanted to talk to you about ARC readers, and we completely like getting ARC readers and all of that, and we just completely skipped over that because we got caught up on yapping about everything else. So do you still want to hit on that before
Yeah, no,
we
I got nowhere to be, so we could talk for the next 4 hours, and I got nowhere to be. I got no kids right now.
Oh, I love that.
So I did all of my ARC reading. So like, there's like, I'm forgetting the name of like the big one that people generally go through. But
I know some people go through Book Sirens, some go through Book Funnel, some go through actually those are the only two mainstream ones I know about, to be honest with you.
I said, I don't even know. The one getting pushed to me as like the one people go through, it costs money, and I don't got money. I'm poor. I have not, the most money I've put into this thing was buying my proof copies to send to people, because I have no money. I did all my own art, I did all my own editing, I did all of that stuff because I have no money. So I could not pay to list my ARC somewhere. So I am listed on two indie forward sites. One is Indie Bookstack and the other is Land of Arcs. And there are paid options, but you can list totally for free. You make a little Google form to attach to your listing. People fill out that Google form. You send them your book, and then that's how you get ARC readers. And then that is also with anything with being an indie author and doing it all by yourself, is you do have to market that all by yourself. That all has to come from you. So I'm like, hey, like this is available, this is available, this is available.
NetGalley is the other one.
NetGalley, that's the one. You have to pay to be on NetGalley.
Yeah.
I don't
You
got
also have
money.
to pay. You also have to pay Book Sirens and Book Funnel too. Like so much so that there are co-ops for Book Funnel where like you pay a smaller price because like the co-op as a whole pays for being on Book Funnel.
Yeah, so you get less people with anything being indie. Like there's less of an audience, there's less of a pool. But if you need people, that's where you can go to get people. I've had pretty good success getting people. My ARC application is still open. It'll be open until a month before my book comes out. So July 8th.
All of our listeners need to go down into the description below and fill it out so they can ARC read for you.
If they desire, they're more than welcome to. I'm not saying they have to do anything.
I'm saying they
I'm
have
just
to do
saying
it.
it's
As the
there.
host as the host of this podcast, I'm saying they have to do it. Just kidding, guys. You have your own autonomy. You can do whatever you want. Free will.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
We could all be somebody's Sims in their computer right now. We don't know.
You know, honestly, if I am a sim in somebody's computer, like, why have you tortured me like this? I mean, I guess at least you haven't locked me in a pool without a ladder yet, so I guess we're okay.
That doesn't work anymore. They fixed that in The Sims 4. You can't drown bitches like that anymore.
What?
Yep. You have to put a wall around the pool now.
Ugh. It was like half the fun, though.
It's like, just let me murder people. It's fine.
Right? Like, some of us just need that, okay? It's free therapy. Like, just let me do the thing. Like, can we please? Anyway, I'm glad that you've been having some good success with your ARC stuff. Again, once I get to publishing, like, that's gonna be the thing I'm gonna not enjoy doing, is trying to find mostly, well, I have some beta readers, but mostly finding beta readers and then really finding ARC readers, because ARC readers and getting those early reviews is like, it almost seems like it's something that you have to do in order to even slightly make it as an indie these days, especially with the rise of gross AI bullshit. I know, Lucifer, we don't like AI, and we don't like AI writing.
But in my copyright page, at the bottom of it, I have this little promise to my readers. A promise to your reader that no part of this publication was made using AI. All words and art were made with human hands and from human ideas. All grammar and editing mistakes are human error.
Honestly, I've heard of some people leaving in mistakes in their books just to prove that a human wrote them.
There's one or two that I'm leaving in that my beta readers and my ARC readers pointed out. I'm like, oh, that one can stay. That doesn't change the meaning or the plot at all, and that can just be there.
Yeah, like, speaking from a narrator perspective, I have seen some people, when they are putting out auditions for their books, that they will leave spelling mistakes in, or they will put like hashtags in random places, and it's because an AI program will just read whatever is there, and that's how you know the person who's quote unquote auditioning is just using an AI voice, is because the AI just reads it as is. It can't make those corrections. That's a fun little trick.
With this AI and like writing shit, I'm like, if an AI can't be depressed, in love, or horny, whatever, all these like such human things, then like they can't write a good human experience if they don't have a human experience.
No, I 100% agree. AI does not have a soul, and a soul is what makes art. No matter what kind of art it is. But speaking of souls and things like that, did you see that the new Pope was like, hey, writers, keep doing what you're doing, because we need your stories and stuff out in the world? And everybody's like, oh, so you want me to write my monster smut? Got it, Mr. Pope, man. I'll add more tentacles to my stories. But yeah, the Pope actually wants writers to keep writing. So if the Pope says it's cool, I think we should all keep doing it. This brief intermission was brought to you by the fact that our AI overlords have decided that Lex is not worthy of Wi-Fi.
That has never happened before. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, it's just nothing. And I could hear you, but you could not hear me. And then it was nothing.
No, you sounded like, you literally sounded like an AI robot there for a minute. You were like, and then I heard this maniacal giggling, and then it just like,
that's so freaky. By the way,
like, what is going on?
That is so scary.
I was trying to talk about the Catholic Pope telling writers they need to keep writing their stories, and people talking about adding more tentacles to things, and then you were just all of a sudden gone.
Oh, so it's Catholicism's fault again. We were being sacrilegious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what it was. Yeah, people took Pope Leo's words a little too seriously, and we're like, so writing that demon angel romantasy and adding more tentacles to my monster smut. Got it, Pope. Uh, that's so
I'm sorry,
funny.
that's never happened before.
No, you're totally fine. I was just like, oh my God, where did she go? Did I scare her? I thought she was an ex-Catholic. I thought it was okay to talk about this.
I've actually decided right now to be Catholic again and then also be pissed off.
Yes, hello. Our interview today has turned me back into a Catholic, and I'm gonna stop blaspheming right now. So I'm just gonna hang up on you. Bye.
Actually, the book's not coming out. I'm deleting everything.
Yeah. Okay. We're not a drama podcast, but I don't know how much you follow tarot stuff on TikTok or if you've seen it on Threads or anything, but like one of the bigger tarot readers on TikTok just completely nuked her account because she found Jesus and decided that she was going to follow that path instead, and reading tarot, even though that's what she built her career on and had almost 1 million followers with, was no longer what she wanted to do. So she literally deleted every video on her account.
So I'm not talking shit. I'm just stating some facts of the case, and there's a difference. I think it's ridiculous that as a society we have decided that when someone takes a sudden jarring turn in their personality towards Jesus, that is being saved and not religious psychosis like it is for every other religion.
A lot of people are speculating that it might be religious psychosis, but there are also a lot of people who are speculating that a man derogatory is the cause of it. Because you know how some men derogatory, not our men obviously, and not all men, because there are good men out there. You and I are,
And here's
married to good men.
the good men in the world don't need to hear the disclaimer, they already know.
I know, but I'm just saying for listener purposes, that sometimes they decide to give you an ultimatum that I'm only going to be with you if you stop doing this thing, even though it's your career and it's how you're making your money and everything, because I don't like it. But anyway, I'm not here to speculate on that or anything. I'm just saying that, yeah, it happens to people
It
all
does,
the
and it's
time.
sad. It is sad that they are just being told that they're saved instead of maybe getting the help that they need.
Yeah. And I feel like religious psychosis has been on the rise just as much as AI psychosis has been recently, but it also just could be that we're seeing it more because the internet is so prevalent
Also,
and we
AI
have
kind of perpetuates it, like
oh
it
yeah,
sticks to
like
them.
AI 100% perpetuates religious psychosis, which is why in my book Mark of the Seraph, it is very much a it's not deconstruction, it is very much I call it a gothic fantasy horror, but really it's a gothic fantasy religious horror because it is all about how the church in this universe is evil and there are things going on with celestial beings dipping their fingers into everything and, whatever, and how that taints the world that these characters live in. So I may or may not have religious trauma that I process in this book, just so y'all know.
We all process things how we gotta process them, and that's okay.
But my blaspheming pagan ass is now going to ask you if you want to talk any more about To Bear an Oath or anything else.
I think we've covered all of it. It comes out August 8th. It'll be on Kindle Unlimited, and that pre-order's up. There's also paperback pre-orders through Barnes & Noble and bookshop.com. Bookshop.com does support your local indie bookshop if you put your zip code in it. So if you're going to pick one, maybe pick that one, unless you don't have an indie bookshop, and I guess it doesn't matter. But
I am so lucky that we've had like a plethora of indie bookshops pop up in my area over the last couple of years. And I'm also hella excited that they're like, oh yeah, when you finish your book, just bring it and we'll stick it in here. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That was a big motivator for me actually pushing to finish it, is that a local bookshop was owner that I am now very dear friends with, I think, was like, yeah, just like bring it. I'll put it on the shelf. It'll be great.
Hell yeah. I love that so much. I love that I feel like in the wake of AI that there are so many indie communities coming together to keep things very much human. Between indie bookshops actually having like local indie authors and not just, you know, the big name stuff that they can get. And then events like Human Voices Only that's going on tomorrow for narrators and you know, stuff like that. Like I'm hella excited that human made stuff is being pushed a lot more. Let me rephrase that. AI slop is being pushed really hard by the algorithms and things, but it seems like indie artists, authors, narrators, creators are all pushing back a lot harder than others seem to be, at least from what I've been immersed in recently, is that we're all pushing back really hard against like the AI boom they're trying to make happen.
Yeah, like it's like we're just not interested. I don't want to do it. I don't want to
Yeah.
talk to Taco. I want to talk to person.
I don't want to. I hate that they named it Taco because one of my favorite podcasts ever is it's not Adventure Time. Wow. Anyway, it's the why can't I remember the names of things when I'm talking about them? Is this my neurodivergence kicking in? I think it is. What is the name of this freaking podcast?
Is it Adventure Zone?
Yes, the Adventure Zone. Yes. Excuse me, that is Taco.
Yes.
Don't be talking about. Don't be taking his name like that.
I hate
Yes,
when I put words and I want to go actually search the thing and it pulls up Taco. Like you don't know anything more than the 3 videos I'm gonna watch about this now. You
right,
probably know
right.
less.
Excuse me, I'm trying to read like the big long TikTok annoys me because like I try to go read the caption and then it's like, oops, you sent this to somebody, and I'm like, dude, why? Or I pull it up and it's like the big long caption, and then at the bottom it's like tacos, da 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 da, da, and I'm like, I don't care what that taco says.
It's like
The
Taco,
only
I'm trying to consult with a jury of my peers. I don't need you.
Yeah,
I
right.
know more than you.
The only taco I care about is the elf
Yeah.
from the Adventure Zone balance arc specifically, and the story that he goes through. By the way, that is the first D&D podcast that I ever listened to, and it was also the one that made me absolutely cry and put me into like a depressive slump
Have
for like
you done
days.
Dimension 20? Dimension 20 is very good, and
I
I
have
think
not done Dimension 20 yet. I've heard
it's so
really good
good.
things about Dimension 20. But I listened to um I started off with the Adventure Zone. I tried to get into Critical Role and I just couldn't because my brain is not wired to listen to um something like that for like 5 or 6 hours at a time.
You know, that's like the one piece of actual play. Like it's your if you
Yeah.
didn't start when you were born, it's too late.
Oh my god, I love that. I also okay, speaking of One Piece though, I love that they're already remaking One Piece and they haven't even finished the original
Yes.
anime yet. I'm like, what are you doing? But also, I just like I cannot get into One Piece either. I'm like, Witch Hat Atelier though. If you were an anime fan and you have not watched
Yes, me
Witch
and
Hat
my husband
Atelier
just
yet,
did.
I I have not finished it. Don't spoil anything for me. I have like 3 episodes left. My fiance and I are actually going to binge that probably either tonight or tomorrow. But like we're going to re-binge through all of it. And fun fact, listening to Witch Hat Atelier is how I get my British accent going for my recordings.
Nice.
Like I picked it up and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is like the perfect like character cue for doing a British accent. But yeah, I need to get into some other stuff. My podcasts recently have been the Magnus Archives and Old Gods of Appalachia, and like I like storytelling podcasts more than anything else, which is why KG, my fiance, and I are going to be doing one eventually. When he eventually goes back to the UK, we're figuring out how to do one online. I think we're going to do it over this program that I'm using now, actually. But anyway, I'm just yapping at this point. We're not even talking about books anymore. We're just yip yapping. We're just two girlies on a phone call, hanging out, chilling, and the listeners get to listen to this. So yeah. Anyway. um well, I think that we have covered just about everything that has to do with you being a wonderful author and your book and everything else. And guys, don't forget, it is called To Bear an Oath. It is coming out August 8th. You can check out the description below for links to things so you can go support Lex before then, also for the ERX pre-orders and everything else. And Lex, thank you again for joining me today on So You're an Author. I had a hella fun, even when the AI overlords tried to take away your Wi-Fi.
They can't silence me. It's impossible.
Yeah, yeah. They know that we're too powerful talking to
We
each
can't
other like
start again.
this.
We can't start again. We just started the outro. We can't start going again.
We're gonna keep going. This is how this podcast works. Anyway, thank you again for being on, and yeah, that's thanks.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been great.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun.
Woo.
All right. And thank you again, listeners, for hanging out with us today, and we will see you next week. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of So You're an Author. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please don't forget to rate and review SYAA so we can reach even more indie authors and listeners too. Now keep listening for an amazing deal. Congratulations on making it to the end of this episode. If you're an indie author or know one, I'd like to take this time to tell you about the author services that I provide. Other than being a cool as hell podcast host, I am an audiobook narrator. Now my rates are based on the length of your novel, and I will have a form available on my website for you to fill out if you're interested. I make simple book covers and other character graphics, which are listed on my website in the description below. Beyond those two services, I offer what I call Yap and Sip sessions. These are kind of like the podcast you're listening to, just without an audience ever hearing them. We can talk about your plot, characters, or somewhere that you just might be stuck in your manuscript. Call it body doubling with your new bestie, where I'm just here to chill and listen while you work out the kinks, or add some in, to whatever you might be working on with your novel. Everything listed above can be found on my website. Anybody who goes to my website can put the code FOUNDYOURPODCAST, all one word, somewhere in their email or form, and I will give you a discounted rate on any of the services listed above. Once more, I thank you for listening to the So You're an Author podcast. See you next week.